Welcome back to 5 Acre Farm. My name's Kat and my partner and I, Justin, we have 5 acres in Victoria, Australia. I thought it was about time that I did a veggie patch tour, show you what's growing and what's not doing so well. We've had a funny year. Our winter was quite warm and not a lot of rain, so some of the stuff didn't grow well at all. And then our summer has been quite cold and we've had quite a bit of rain as well. So sort of been a bit of a funny year, but there's a fair bit happening. So I'll show you around and have a look at the garden and see what's happening. Coming into the entrance of the veggie patch here, we plan to have an archway here, which we still haven't done, but we've got our kiwi fruit growing well. Well, there's two that are growing well, and it's a female and a male. One of the other female plants has died, I think. We're going to keep it there just in case. Hopefully it'll actually pop up and actually start doing well. So the first garden bed here, this one is mostly capsicums and chilies. We have I've completely forgotten the name of the first chili that we have. I think it's a pink tiger or something like that. So I'll pop the name up on the screen so you can see what it's called. Then we've got our capsicums growing here. Then some chilies, a habanero and, oh, is it habanero? No, jalapeno, I think. Or maybe that's one that we actually don't know what it is. This one is a sunstrike chili. Got our garlic chives, and then in between we've got some Thai basil and some like just normal basil growing in there. Then a new plant that we've trialed this year is the pea asparagus. So we've never actually eaten it and we've never grown it before. So we're hoping, we've got a couple of those plants in this garden bed here. We're hoping they'll do all right. We've got just some silver beet that's gone to flower and going to seed. Some beetroot here. I think it's I'm going to say it wrong, but I think it's chioggia, however you say it, that's what the beetroot is we've got growing there. And then over here is the smoky bronze fennel, which has been going really well, and it's got like a bit of a licoricey taste to it. We've got our amaranth, and I think that was a broccoli, I think, or maybe a cauliflower, I'm not sure. We've got our purple kohlrabi growing here. It's had a bit of a tough time with the white butterfly moths, so it's got a little bit chewed up, but hopefully the actual bulbs will be all right. Some more beetroot and some chives, and then a bay leaf growing there. There's a few little tomatoes that have actually popped up. They're little volunteer tomatoes. I think these ones were the little like sweet yellow tomatoes, like little yellow cherry tomatoes. So there's two plants I think that have popped up there. Oh no, there's a few over there as well. So hopefully they'll do all right. So you're seeing the garden as it is. So I haven't done a huge amount of weeding. You'll see there's quite a bit of grass popping up. Oh, and one of the experiments that we did was when Justin noticed that when he was cutting down trees, the sawdust that was being left on the ground, nothing would grow in it. So we thought we would trial putting sawdust down around the veggie patch to stop the grass growing, and as you can see, it has not worked. But at least we now know. These are the peonies that are growing. Got two there. They haven't flowered yet. I don't think it was cold enough over winter for them to actually get that cold, I don't even know what it's called, like a little cold burst for them to actually start flowering. But hopefully we'll actually see some flowers on there. In this patch here, it's a bit overgrown, but we've got the rocket, we've got some, I think these are Lebanese cucumbers that are starting to pop up. And then the other day I noticed that we had some of the Mexican sour gherkins that have actually started popping up. So there's quite a few of those little plants in there. So yeah, I didn't know that they would actually keep going, and it's cool. We didn't get anything from them because last summer was too cold for them. So hopefully this summer will warm up and they'll actually produce some fruit for us. I did plant a whole lot of the apple cucumbers in here, but none of those ones have come up. I think we've just got the Lebanese cucumbers. Our chilies have smashed it this year. They're doing so well, and I think because our winter was quite warm, they've just kept going, and it was almost like they got overwintered without us having to even put them anywhere to keep them warm. So you can see it's like hip height for me, these ones here. So I think this is a bird's eye, and then there's a cayenne pepper in there somewhere. There's a few other little ones that we're hoping will kick off soon. In this next bed here, we've got some of the red cabbage that's doing quite well, and then in between I've planted a whole lot of tomatoes, and I cannot remember the names of what varieties they are or anything, and I need to trim up the leaves and stake them so that then they won't just fall and grow like they are at the moment. Here's some that I have started to sort of set up some sort of structure so that then they can actually grow up, and I have picked a couple, but the leaves are starting to curl up. Not sure if that's a lack of water maybe, or if you've got any ideas about what it might be, let us know in the comments below. Then over here we have a little patch that I had set up, so it was one of the first garden beds in the veggie patch that would just be flowers. So that's not doing too bad. We've got our first cosmos flower, which is looking really sad at the moment, but we also have a dahlia, which I regret planting here because the tubers of the dahlias are not edible, and I think they're actually poisonous to eat. So after that's flowered, I'm really keen to see it actually flowering. I'm going to dig that up and I'll put that somewhere else that's not in the veggie patch. Then we have, what's here? We've got some silver beet and some parsley. This one's sort of thyme and some calendula. This is where it gets quite messy. This grass is really hard to keep control of. It just keeps growing and keeps popping up everywhere. It's not too bad, but yeah, sort of come in with the whip snipper and try to clean it up every now and then. We've got some spring onions, some more chives, and this plant here is one, I can't remember the name of it. It seems to be the story of everything is I can't remember the name of it, but this one here, apparently it is mozzie. The smell of it, like the mozzies don't like it, so it's a bit of a mozzie repellent, but I don't know if that actually works. We get lots and lots of mozzies over here. We've got our zucchinis that are planted here. I think there's maybe 7 plants that we've got going. We picked a little tiny one the other night and had it with our dinner, and there's a few little zucchinis that are starting to pop up, so we actually might get zucchinis, which would be amazing. So yeah, zucchinis are normally one they are prolific, and you end up having so many of the zucchinis, and you know, trying to give them away is almost impossible. But yeah, this year we've not had many at all, so it'd be nice to actually get some zucchinis. Some more rocket that's just self-seeded here. Then this one's a bit of a mess at the moment. We've got a whole lot of the brassicas that were growing, and the white cabbage moths have just annihilated them all. They haven't done well at all. This is my cornflowers that were growing here. So the cornflowers were in the greenhouse, so just a little greenhouse that we had, and we had some really windy days, and it ended up blowing over and completely, like, everything just went everywhere. And so I sort of just scooped everything up and put it into the veggie patch and hoped for the best. And they've done all right. So they're not doing the best, but I think they'll be all right, and they're pretty. We'll hopefully be able to collect some of the pods and save some of the seeds for next year. Some more brassicas and some beetroots. And then here, this is the okra. I've only just planted that in the ground there. So we've never grown that before. Oh, just realised I missed a whole garden bed as well. I'll go back in a minute and show you that one. Eggplant. We've never had success with growing eggplant before. So the plants have actually done okay, but then we've never had any of the fruit actually grow on it. So these ones have got some flowers, and hoping that we'll be able to actually get some fruit from it. Some basil and Thai basil in between, with some more capsicums along here. Another cosmos, which hasn't flowered yet, so I'm not sure what colours. It'll be either a pink, white or purple cosmos. Over here we've got some different ones that I got the other day from our local hardware store. So this one is a long sweet capsicum, candy cane capsicum, and you can see it's got a couple growing there already. And then a little snack orange capsicum. So those ones are super sweet. They're not chili at all, but just a bit different to your standard capsicum. The capsicum plants have been doing incredibly well. I think because we had a warmer winter and a fair bit of rain over summer as well, they've actually been growing quite well. So there's quite a few fruits coming up and lots of flowers on them, and they seem to be doing all right. So hopefully, we haven't had much luck here. In our old place, we had more luck growing the green capsicums, and we got to harvest quite a few green capsicums. So hopefully this year is the year for capsicums. And then the next garden bed along is some more chilies. There's bird's eyes and the cayenne peppers. So the cayenne peppers, they did quite well last year, and the bird's eyes did as well. But we weren't quite sure what to do with the bird's eyes. They're really hot and a little bit too hot for us. So the cayenne peppers, we use them heaps in lots of our meals, and even just in our breakfasts, and then on top of any of the dinners that we had. And yeah, they're super tasty. But yeah, the bird's eyes, we're not quite sure. Could maybe make up like a bit of a chili sauce with them, but they're a little bit too spicy for us. So the cayenne peppers are really good because they're just a really nice flavour and not too hot. So we've got a volunteer pumpkin that's popped up there. So it's the only pumpkin, I think. Oh no, there is one that's growing in a spot on the other side of the driveway that's growing, that's just a random pumpkin. But then we've got a whole lot of pumpkins, the carving pumpkins. So I saved a whole lot of seeds from pumpkins that I'd carved for Halloween. And they're going mental. We have a lot of those. Then we have some more capsicum plants here with some Thai basil sprinkled in around there, and then the nasturtiums are doing quite well there. And in between, this is what I call my regretful raspberry patch, and actually you can probably see over there, that's raspberries popping up. We've got raspberries over here and then all the way around. We haven't actually had any fruit yet, so there's super regretful raspberries at the moment. I was going to start I was going to call it my responsible raspberry patch, but I think I've been put off a little bit because these ones have just gone mental and they're everywhere, and I can't keep up with them. The runners are just taking off, and it really is a regretful raspberry patch. So, and especially because we haven't had any fruit yet. I think this is an apricot, or yeah, I think it's an apricot, or maybe a peach. That one was just, there was a few seeds that I had that I just ended up chucking into the ground. We've got our little avocado tree, which has been struggling a little bit with when the sun is out, and it's quite like the days that we've had, if it's either been quite chilly over summer, or we've had really intense hot days, but also we've had days where it's been like quite a nice temperature but really humid, and the sun's really intense, so it's got a few little burnt leaves there. Back over this way, yeah, look, see, you can see more raspberries. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Look at all of that. Hopefully we get some fruit from it. This is the asparagus that we've got growing. So we've let it go. I think we've, like, while we've been in the garden, we've picked some and we've tried it, but we haven't actually picked enough to be able to eat a meal with it. But we will soon be able to just cut that back. When it dries out, we'll cut it back, and then it'll just grow more little shoots. These are all self-seeded, rainbow chard and the sweet potato as well. So that'll be nice. I've never actually grown sweet potato where I've ended up harvesting it, so that'll be interesting to see how it goes, and hopefully we'll be able to make some meals from that. Oh, we've got our finger limes. Finger limes are 1, 2, 3 growing along there. So those rubbish bins there, I've been trialing, and we've had intense winds, so they've like one's blown over, but been trialing making like a weed tea. So putting all the weeds into the bins and then filling them with water, and then putting that onto the garden. So we'll see how that works out. And then I need to show you the garden bed. Actually, I'm a little bit excited about this one. So this is the garden bed at the front, where it's got a few onions planted, and then it's got some basil and some Thai basil in it as well, but it's also got a yucca plant, which I've never grown before, but that's another tuber plant. So it'll be interesting to see the difference between the sweet potato and the yucca plant. This one here is a whole lot of chives, and I think that's another bird's eye chili growing, and some more cosmos. That one as well, I don't know if that'll be a white, pink or purple one. These ones here I've kind of left. It was beautiful looking broccoli, the Romanesca broccoli, so it had a really beautiful shape to it, and we did eat some and it was really, really tasty. And then white cabbage moth got to them and got caterpillars all over them, and I actually have a bit of an irrational fear for caterpillars, which I know is ridiculous, but yeah, I don't like them. So when they've got caterpillars all over them, I find it really hard to actually do anything with them. So yeah, they've gone to seed, and we'll be able to collect a lot of the seed from those. And then, yeah, we'll be able to grow them again next year as well. Yeah, but I think that's it for the tour. There's, yeah, a lot of work still needing to be done, a lot of grass that's popping up. Oh, and also the mulch that we had, I've done a fair bit of the weeding of it, but the mulch that we got ended up having like little, I think they're called little bindies growing in them. So they were literally everywhere. So these little guys, those little guys there. So it was all the mulch that we used was absolutely just, it had so many of those little seeds in there, and a lot of them have ended up taking off and growing, which is why I've been using the bins as well to try and, because we like, it's the sort of seed that we absolutely don't want in the veggie patch. I'll see if I can find one of the plants growing. This is it here. So it's all along where the zucchinis are. That's what the weed looks like there, and it has little yellow flowers that end up turning into these awful little things that end up just being really uncomfortable to actually walk on, and yeah, not ideal for the veggie patch, but hopefully we'll be able to actually get rid of it. And yeah, it's one of those things that you never know what's going to be in the mulch. If you buy the mulch from somewhere else, you never know what's going to happen. And we've had that before with our broad bean mulch as well. Had a whole lot of grass in it, and that could even be where all of these grass seeds have come from as well. So yeah, we'll get there with it. So there you go, guys, little tour, 2024 veggie patch tour, and hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. Bye.